Talk to him. Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
We about to cross over into the Classic Code Sports segment of the show. We talking about Devin Haney just put out a hit list. Oh my God, let's go.
There you go. Talk to him. Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Yo, it's Classic with the Classic Code Sports, and we got another one, man. So before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and for sure, we going live. We dropping videos every single day talking about all your favorite sports and all your favorite athletes. So Devin Haney, the dream, just came back and beat Jose Ramirez in a straight shutout, 12 rounds to nothing, dancing all over the ring, touching him with the jab, touching him with right hands, moving and grooving, keeping everything efficient and getting out the ring clean. Looked like he hadn't even been in a fight. So Bill Haney, father of Devin Haney, manager, promoter, and trainer, Bill Haney just went on Twitter and set the whole boxing world on fire. I got it for you right here. Do not trip. You know the Classic Code Sports got you. The hit list. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all can see it, and I hope y'all can see it clear. Bill Haney just dropped the hit list. Devin Haney just dropped 10 fighters' names. Straight ahead, no ducking, all dog work. Cortez said just work. You know what's going on. The most consistent. Mr. McBride said yesterday, I'm dropping content like I'm trying to go to the league. You know, he showed up and started walking them. We showed up and started walking everybody down. Shout out to all the new subscribers, man. Shout out to all the new subs. But listen to me, boxing talk. Devin Haney just dropped a hit list in a real serious way. Yes, indeed. Bill Haney's father just went on Twitter and set the boxing world on fire. So we're going to discuss the list, y'all. I want to go over it like this. So, hold on, let me move myself down. So check it out. At the top of the hit list, we got Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to talk to y'all about the fights that I think are 50-50 fights. I'm going to talk about the fights that I think Devin would actually be a legitimate underdog, you know, and I'm going to talk about the fights that I know Devin will win going away on this list. So we start at the top. Let's do it like this. Number one on the hit list, Teofimo Lopez. Devin washes Teofimo Lopez. Devin absolutely washes Teofimo Lopez. There's really nothing Teofimo has shown. There's really nothing that Teofimo has shown that indicates to me that he's going to be able to neutralize Devin's movement. There's nothing that Teofimo Lopez has shown me that he's going to do to be able to get around Devin Haney's jab. Besides trying to jump in and be athletic. He's an athletic fighter. He's an explosive fighter. He doesn't have any real power. He puts a lot of emphasis on speed, but he doesn't throw 5 and 6 and 7 punch combinations. Is more of quick 2s and 3s, and then he's on the move himself. So if he wants to play chess with Devin Haney, I'm taking Devin Haney by UD. That's number one on the hit list. Number two on the hit list, Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, a true 50-50 fight. This fight is not for people who want to see two guys stand toe-to-toe in the ring and make each other bloody and bruised up. That's just not what this is going to be. Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson is going to be a very tactical, a very cerebral fight. These two will be, you know, jabbing each other, trying to set up shots, making quick, you know, and evasive movements to try to put themselves out of position for the attack and keep themselves in position to try to go on counterattack. It's going to be a lot of it's going to be the game of trying to be first and last all night. And the one of the two of them that can do that the best is going to be the person that wins the fight. Honestly, again, Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, I think once they fight the first time, they'll end up fighting 2 to 3 times. On the first fight, I'll bet the draw. We'll go put the bread on the draw. Promise you. And then it's not going to be a high output. Neither one of them are averaging 40, 50, 60 punches around. Both of them are very economical with their punch output, so it could easily be a stalemate. Devin Haney going down to number 3. Devin Haney facing off with Gervonta Tank Davis. I got Devin Haney beating Tank. I've always had Devin Haney beating Tank. Tank is a very small person. I know you guys who don't box or never seen fighters in person, you know, and y'all just hear the weight classes, but you don't really bring it into perspective. Tank fights at 135 pounds. In real life, that is a small man. He's a little guy. He's about 5'5", 135. He is the size of all the men women say they don't want on the internet. Tank is a little dude, right? Devin Haney is, I think, 5'9", legitimately, or something like that. He has significantly longer arms, and he has great footwork. I think if Devin Haney can get in the ring with Tank and decide 2 or 3 different ways to beat Tank, Tank has one option to try to beat Devin. Try to get to him and try to score a knockout. Tank already only throws about 30 to 35 punches per round, and he goes away from his jab very early in the fight. So out of those 30 to 35 punches, very few of them are jabs, very few of them to set up shots. He kind of walks in, uses his pressure, does a lot of catching and shooting, coming underneath and then springing up and throwing shots. That's Tank's MO. Devin Haney is a very tall, athletic fighter with good feet. He'll keep Tank on the outside all night, and that's why, honestly, y'all haven't seen Tank send Devin a contract. Y'all can stop me when I start lying. And it's the same reason why Tank hasn't sent Shakur Stevenson a contract, because he'll get in the ring with both of them, and if either of them decide, I'm not letting Tank touch me tonight, he won't. He won't. I got Devin beating Tank. So at the top 3 on this list, I think we got 150-50 fight, 2 wins for Devin. Now it's starting to get real, right? So number 4, we got Jerron Boots Ennis. Before the Ryan fight and before the Ramirez fight, if you asked me about this fight with Devin and Boots, I would have told you too early for Devin, right on time for Boots. It's going to be probably Devin will be the underdog. If they fight today, based on what I seen with Boots versus Karen twice and what I seen from Boots against Stanionis, and then the version of Devin I just saw coming off of the Ryan fight where his legs and his conditioning are supreme, I think that Devin could make it a very difficult fight for Boots. I think a lot of people look at Boots like he's the Terminator. I'm more of a objective person. I think Boots is an excellent fighter. I think he's a great fighter. I think we haven't seen the best of Boots Ennis just yet. But fighters who are going to come forward to Boots and keep a high guard and try to catch and shoot or just pressure Boots, they'll get beat into a poke, just like Stanionis and just like Vila, right? So those fights will look amazing, and Boots will look like he's an indestructible fighter if you go high guard and just walk towards him. But when it comes to fighters that are athletic, just like Boots, who have a jab just like Boots, who have some IQ just like Boots, we'll see the best of Boots, but we'll also see the best of that other athlete. Devin is a world-class fighter. I know a lot of people hate on Devin Haney. It doesn't change the truth. He's a world-class fighter. He's the youngest fighter to ever be an undisputed champion in a weight class in boxing history. Devin could stop fighting today and he would be a Hall of Famer, period. So opinions and feelings and sentiments are cool, doesn't change reality. And Boots Ennis still has some more things to prove. Even though I would favor Boots when it comes to betting my money, I actually give Devin a legitimate chance to beat Boots. After Boots' last fight, he knocked out Stanionis. Before Devin's fight against Ramirez, all we had seen was the Garcia fight, right? Boots knocked out his opponent, and I said I got Devin beating Boots by split decision before I even seen the Ramirez fight. And I'm confident that it could happen. Because this game of boxing is not about you going to YouTube and seeing Boots hit the bag with blistering speed or going to watch Devin do ladder drills with his footwork. It's about implementing strategy. At the highest level of boxing is chess, how you set your shots up. Boots likes to throw a lot of combinations, 7, 8, 9 punches. You're not getting that off with a guy who ain't going to stand there for that. He's not standing there for that. That's why Boots wasn't able to run off those types of numbers when he fought Karen. So I think that it's a great fight. And the more I talk about it and think about it from a boxing perspective, I'm going 55-45 on that. This damn near 50-50. But realistically, I would lean a little towards Boots because Boots hasn't had a night like the night Devin had against Garcia. And I think when the intensity of the fight turns up, Boots still has the unimpacted or unmitigated confidence to bite his mouth guard and dig into the fight. Whereas Devin, does have a past of having that type of night, and he would, as a human being, he may have just this much more reluctance to bite his mouth guard and dig into the fight. And if it comes to that, to go get the last couple rounds, I give Boots that edge. But I wouldn't be shocked if Devin won by split decision. And I wouldn't be mad that I lost a little bit of bread. But I think I would bet Boots on the cards for that. All right, number 5, we got Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. Devin outboxes Brian Norman Jr. End of story. Number 6, Devin Haney versus Mario Barrios. Devin Haney outboxes Mario Barrios. End of story. Number 7, Devin Haney versus Keyshawn Davis. I say this fight is a true 50-50 fight. I don't think Devin just easily washes Keyshawn Davis because unlike other fighters on this list that have power and speed and good attributes, Devin has really, really great feet. Keyshawn Davis knows how to cut the ring off. And so because of that, Keyshawn is one of the people who could force Devin Haney to fight in moments of the fight. And Keyshawn punching. He punching. He's a strong fighter and he's really punching. I think some people underestimate that Devin Haney has good power. Keyshawn hasn't fought anybody to the level of opposition or IQ as a Devin Haney. So I'd be interested to see this fight. I think it's a true 50-50 fight. Honestly, I would just bet the over on rounds if Keyshawn Davis fought Devin Haney. Right now, for everybody that's filing in, we on the sports section of the show. We talking about Devin Haney's father, Bill Haney, just put out a hit list for Devin Haney. We talking boxing, right? So I'm just going through each fight and letting y'all know which fights I think would be a 50-50 fight, which fights I think Devin will win, and which fights I think he could potentially lose or be the underdog in. So number 8, we got Rolly Romero. Devin outboxes Rolly Romero, just beats him with the jab, good footwork, and he'll probably hit him with his with the backhand, with the right hand, you know, here and there, just enough to really win rounds. Rolly doesn't have the feet to beat Devin Haney. He has the power to keep him apprehensive, but he doesn't have the feet to beat him. Number 9, Conor Benn. Conor Benn is devoid of a jab, and so he won't touch Devin Haney. You're not touching a fighter who has reasonable defense if you don't have a jab. You need to set your shots up. There's certain fighters who get away with not having a jab and using a lot of catching and countering or slipping and countering to get their shots off, or they just try to focus on using timing. But against a fighter with longer arms, great feet, and good movement, they can keep you on the outside, be too close or too far all night. And when you try to get your offense off, they're going to see it from a mile coming, see it coming from a mile off because you're not using your jab. You're not setting up your shots. So I got Devin Haney beating Conor Benn. And then at number 10, I got Devin Haney beating Ryan Garcia just by simply outboxing him. And honestly, I don't think Ryan's spirit is in a good place. So I think Devin could actually stop Ryan more so on some no mas type shit where Ryan just quits in the middle of the fight. The guy's a head case. So yeah, that's how I see the Devin Haney hit list, man. I think that it's good for boxing that fighters like Devin Haney, fighters like David Benavidez, fighters like Caleb Plant. I'm happy that these type of fighters still exist in the sport of boxing because they don't duck anybody. There's no documented ducking for these guys. There's no situation where somebody's like, I sent you a contract and you said no. You don't really see that. So with that being said, these guys are great for the sport. I believe in Devin Haney. I still think he's a world-class fighter. He has a lot of great attributes. And honestly, I think his mind is a lot stronger than people give him credit for. You know, oftentimes as Black folks, it's a situation where we feel like, you know, if you're not from poverty or if you're not from the trenches or if you're not from the hood, that there's no other ways of growing up to develop a dog mentality. And that simply isn't true. It simply isn't true. Some people just have a high engine and a fire burning inside of them, and they got a chip on their shoulder. And there's some people who are obsessed with proving themselves right. So I wouldn't get off into, oh, Devin, you know, grew up like this and he had a rough fight against Ryan and he'll never be the same. There have been plenty of fighters throughout boxing history who have had a bad night, a tough loss, a beating, and come back and have plenty successful career. Plenty of successful wins after that, win more titles and everything. And there's no greater champions than the champions that show you, I know how to bounce back. So, you know, there's something to being undefeated and there's something to a redemption story. You know, we need them both. But yeah, man, that's my sports take for the day. Shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to Bill Haney. And thank you for keeping the sport alive. Thank you for keeping it interesting. And thank you for no ducking. Yeah.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winter